My name's John Whitaker. I've been blessed to be part of the gathering, like in an official capacity board member for the past 2 years. I've been in locker rooms, a locker room for the last 3 years. And the question today is, Jesus is the reason for. And my initial gut reaction was, Jesus is the reason for everything. And then I was like, well, John, you need to go deeper. You need to go deeper, find something more meaningful. That's just the Sunday school answer. My kids leave Sunday school. I'm like, hey, what'd you talk about today? They're like, Jesus. And I'm like, okay, let's do a little more. And so in my mind, I'm like, I really need to go deeper. But as I did, Jesus is the reason for everything. He's the reason we get up in the morning. He's the one that sustains us. He's the reason we go to bed at night. And now we don't do it perfectly, but hopefully he's the reason for every decision we make in between those, rising and going to bed. Jesus is the reason I live in the house I live in. Jesus is the reason I'm married to my wife and still married to my wife. I love my wife deeply, but without Jesus as our foundation, we would not make it. He sustains us. Jesus is the reason for the size of my family. We have 2 biological, we have 2 adopted, and recently, just by the grace of God, we've added an additional 4 through foster care. It's something we didn't plan, but Jesus put that in our path. He opened that door and we stepped through it. And Jesus is the reason I'm here today. And it's such a blessing that God has chose us to be part of his plan. The gathering 3 years ago, Jeff came in, he stopped to get some coffee at the bank, and we just struck up a conversation. We had met previously, but he invited me to get involved in a locker room group. I would have never expected for a locker room group to play as big of a role that it has in my Christian walk. Over the last 3 years, I've grown in my relationship with Christ. I've grown in my relationship with other men that are able to support me in this walk. And just the relationships that, like, not just in my locker room group. Even this morning, I came from a doctor's appointment, and the doctor that was there, I had heard his name previously, that he might have been involved in a locker room group. So I started having that conversation today about his locker room and how things are going. And I went on a retreat and met another pastor from Tiffin. Never met him before in my life, struck up a relationship. And through that relationship, when we've been walking through this time of life with the foster children, that's something that he's walked through before. And currently we're driving his 12-passenger van. There's so many godly connections that are just spread all throughout Springfield that my eyes have been opened to through the gathering. And it's been able to encourage me to change my God-centered conversations even at work. The gathering also, I would say just the relationships that I've been able to grow and to get to know in my locker room group. I know probably the most exciting part of my week sometimes is pulling into Panera parking lot every other Tuesday and seeing anywhere from a half dozen to 18 men pulling into the parking lot at the same time, knowing that they have a lot of other choices, they have a lot of other responsibilities on their shoulders, but they are choosing to get up to join me in fellowship, to join worshiping God, to join me in encouraging each other. And I know how much that encourages me. So the gathering, it's been such an amazing part of my life, part of my journey, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go from here.